All India State Bank of India Staff Federation presents a journey of 75 years and beyond. On the occasion of 75th birth anniversary of All India State Bank of India Staff Federation, we delve into the genesis of the federation and salute its dauntless journey of long 75 years struggling for rights and fighting against exploitation, insult, humiliation, discrimination and deprivation of the Indian employees in the banking industry by the colonial management was the order of the day during the early 20th century. The same was in practice in different corners of the world too, in some form or the other.
In those days, employees have been treated like bonded laborers, and they have been treated like slaves, and in fact there was no proper working conditions, and the employees have been teased and harassed, and they cannot even see sunrise and sunset. Like that, they have been continuously working in the bank without any time norms or anything.
To protect the working class from torture, intimidation and exploitation of the employers, ILO, the International Labour Organization, was born in 1919 under the aegis of League of Nations. Its motto being advancing social justice, promoting decent work. With the same motto, an organization of employees of then Bank of Bengal was born under the chairmanship of Sri Narayan Chandra Mukherjee on 9th July 1920 to achieve in future the desideratum of workers' emancipation from economic exploitation.
In fact, I must tell that the Bengal Association has done a very pivotal position in those days, because your association has been started in the year 1920, even before the Trade Union Act.
As there was no law to register a trade union during that period of time, so it was registered under the Benevolent Societies Act. The birth of David to fight against Goliath. In 1926, the Indian Trade Union Act came into being. The application for registration under Indian Trade Union Act 1926 was submitted on 29 January 1932 and it got registered on 24th May 1932. In 1946, the Bengal Circle Association went on for a strike for 46 days. From 1st August, driven Bengal Circle had a spread from Rangoon to Peshawar and from Orissa to Jammu and Kashmir. The strike was called for a better pay and a better service condition of employees of Imperial Bank. But the struggle became a symbol of fight against the colonial owners. The students of Kolkata dared the police atrocities and joined the strikers to picket. The valiant fight of the Imperial Bank of India Indian Staff Association for 46 days resulted in the appointment of the Gupta Tribunal, which solved two issues. First, regulation of working hours and same pay for same work. In the meantime, the employees of the Bank of Madras Circle felt the need to organize a trade union for themselves.
In the south, they were also, the employees were simmering, and because they want to break this the bonded labor system and the way in which they have been treated, they cannot tolerate. And on account of that only, they will finally decided that they will have their own union. That has been started on 4th August 1946 at the same St. Mary's Hall here.
Against this backdrop, Sri D. Ghosha, General Secretary of Calcutta Association, wrote a letter on 7th November 1946 to the General Secretary of Madras Union. In his letter, he expressed his satisfaction that the Madras Union within a very short time of its emergence could achieve benefits of its members and opined that it was essential that the employees of Imperial Bank should have a federation as early as possible. The Madras Circle Union hosted the first All India Conference of Imperial Bank employees. The meeting was held at St. Mary's Hall from 23rd October to 25th October 1947. The meeting was presided over by Sri Shaumendranath Tagore, President of Bengal Union.
And Bengal comrades and Chennai comrades, they came together and they have discussed, and finally they have decided that let us have our federation so that we can give very good protection to the entire employees.
The Bombay Union later joined the force during the 50s. After formation of the federation in 1947, it demanded nationalization of Imperial Bank of India. Our federation was the first trade union organization to raise the demand of bank nationalization. Imperial Bank of India was changed into State Bank of India. In the demand of same wage for same work irrespective of one's place of posting, the employees of State Bank of India went for 1 hour pin down strike on 15 December 1955 and 1 day's nationwide strike on 28 December 1955. Again, a 2-day strike was scheduled on 6th and 7th January 1956. At Vias, on 4th January, the police arrested Sri Mohanlal Majumdar under PD Act. Before surrendering, he requested the police to allow him to leave a message for his members and wrote on a piece of paper, "To my friends and comrades, I have been arrested under PD Act. March forward like disciplined soldiers and carry on these struggles. Yours comradely, Mohanlal Majumdar." Observing the dilly-dally tactics and unsatisfactory result of successive tribunals, the Federation demanded for voluntary arbitration to settle their demand. The same was rejected by the bank management and the government. Chairman's declaration that there will be no discussion on the Charter of Demand compelled the Federation to go in for a nationwide indefinite strike from 4th March 1960. The strike continued with exemplary courage, endurance and solidarity of the members till 24th March when it was called off by the President of the Federation. The strike continued for 21 days, although after the 11 days of the strike, it was declared illegal by the then Prime Minister Sri Jawaharlal Nehru. The strike of 1960 enriched the organization with a full steam to have the edge over the management for over 1.5 decades, that is up to the declaration of national emergency and ushered in the era of bilateralism in the banking industry. Computerization and Mechanization Agreement signed on 9th June 1989, first of its kind in the banking industry, against 1 increment for employees and a fixed allowance after maximum in the scale.
And especially where I appreciate my predecessors or veterans is the forethought, what they used to have at that time. At that time, this computerization is coming, and foreign banks, they are being permitted to enter into the banking industry. New type of private banks are coming. So they are coming with a lot of improvements in the technology. And much prior to that also, when the bank requires technology, our federation was in forefront in agreeing to the extent which it is required, absolutely necessary, minimum necessary to the bank. And at the same time, the thinking of the federation is, because we are agreeing for the computerization, the bank is getting some benefit. And out of that, you have to give a portion to the employees also. It has to be shared with the employees. It has resulted into 1 increment to all the employees who are in service as a particular date.
The era of bilateralism ushered in State Bank of India in 1964. A new pay scale and service condition was introduced. It was only for state bank pensioners that there was a ceiling on pension, depriving them from the actual pension they are eligible for as 50% of their last drawn salary. When the management and the government showed its reluctance to listen to the argument, both the Federation, the AISBISF and AISBOF called for an indefinite strike from 3rd April 2006 to continue up to 10th April 2006 and got it implemented. Our predecessors in AISBISF have been fighting for the right of its members, and we are sure that the future generation will continue to do the same.
Whatever our principles of the association we have formed, maybe in 20s, maybe in 30s, maybe in 60s, maybe in 70s, that is still valid enough, because we know it fully well from the last experience of 75 years as a federation or more than 100 years of the association, that whenever we need something, we have to fight for it, go for achievement. So irrespective of which government is at the power, which management is at the power, our message to our members is that no management, nobody is going to give them anything in the silver platter. For everything they have to fight and fight on if they want to survive in the social market. My message to our members will be that they should come forward, join the mainstream of the association, know about the sacrifices made by our previous members, our leaders, and try to carry forward the torch or the baton that they are going to be handed over in the shorter term, because almost all senior people are going and all the new people are going to take over. So my sincere and only message will be for them not to surrender, not to be frightened of, but to carry the message that is right is might, that will follow in the days to come.
Several instances are there which shows how our predecessors displayed their prudence and clearly went ahead of their time, shifting from working class DA to middle class DA during 1970.
So at that time, because of that, in the State Bank of India, we were able to get some additional DA in view of the middle class index or accepting the working class index, because they wanted to make everyone equal footing in the banking industry. So in the banking industry, for all the people, it was only working class index.
Agreement of mechanization during 1972, 1981 and 1989.
Olden days, what we find was that the staff was much more in number in any of the branches because of the manual setup of the banking. But with the change scenario, slowly, once we have made an agreement on the computerization, when our forefathers who could see not writing on the walls but beyond the wall what is written on that, and because of their art, the employees of State Bank of India were the pioneer in getting one more increment at that time. That was the agreement of 9th June 1989.
Introduction of family pension in 1997, career progression scheme in 1999, struggle for restoration of recruitment in the bank, insurance coverage of staff housing loan in 2019, uniform transfer policy in 2022 and many others.
The government has acted, and in 2000 only BSRPs were discontinued throughout the country, and till 2008 we could not have a single recruitment, though during that period we went on strike for so many time to have a fresh blood, because we were feeling it from 1986 onwards. Government has banned it. From the last already 14 years we are not having any recruitment, and to run the trade union movement, fresh blood and the young blood is must. So this was the thing, that was the foresightness that our leadership had in All India State Bank of India Staff Federation. Right from the day 1, 1947, when we have formed this federation, or prior to that when we had formed this Imperial Bank of India Indian Staff Association.
Today we salute our founding fathers for their sacrifice and foresightedness and pledge to bear the flaming torch of their trade union idealism with commitments and spirit of camaraderie. All India State Bank of India Staff Federation, Zindabad.